All right, let's see if this pops up. Cool, cool. What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. All right, so I've spent a lot of time doing a bunch of checking for kitties. I spent a lot of time doing a bunch of daily bias exercises, um, hindsight, testing of the strategy. Now it's time to actually do proper back testing of the strategy. So I'm going to make myself. I paused myself there by accident. Hold on. I'm gonna make myself tiny up in this corner here. We'll just get started. This session is gonna be about 2 hours. I have soursop tea and let's go. All right, so this is January 5th. So we'll be using Thinkorswim to do this. I'll be putting in the orders. Let me set the auto send here. I'll be putting in the orders, be using on demand. We're doing January because that's when we can actually utilize the Thinkorswim um, orders option. Anyway, so this is the daily chart for January 5th. So the 4th, the Friday. So we're inside of this. So we're hanging out. Let me make some things that I will be doing. Seriously? These cats, they're just gonna break it. Hang on. Sasha, get down. Come on, get down. Come on. Here, go in there. Go in there. My God, like these cats, man. I love them, but they've got a lot going on. Like she's jumped on the most rickety looking thing. She wants to climb. Anyway, so we have this little volume imbalance here I'll be paying attention to and seeing if we want to dig it back up into that. So I'm gonna just give that a little light purple looking vibe there on the daily. And I'm just looking for targets, basically, like targets for TP. And I want to see what the daily structure looks like. So ahead of time, I got to take a look at that. So we rolled down here, swept, came up, and now we've kind of dug back into this order block right here and pushed back up. So we're just sort of hanging out inside of this order block here. And so I would be bullish on this day. All right. Targets, I would be initially looking at the midpoint of this candle, somewhere between, somewhere about there, and then maybe the low, the body low there instead of the low itself. But let's see. Let's drop to, and it's right 9:40. So let's take a look at the 15 minutes on this and see what we're doing here at open. Well, so I don't trade until about 50 minutes after the open, so we're just letting this flow along. So this is the body here of the daily candle. The low would be all the way down here, so I'm just gonna call this the daily extreme that we'd be looking for potentially. Oops. And let's make sure and show that on the right. They've already sort of tagged into the high here. I don't know if this is going to be a day where we'll be able to get anything. So we're going to be seeing if we can recognize the patterns for my setup and taking them in the Thinkorswim on-demand platform using our lovely market orders that actually work here. Yay! Beautiful. So So let's see. So this is the 15. We're coming up on 942. Let's drop to. Do we have anything juicy? Where's London? Right. This is what London lows. Also good to know where all that is. I wanna. And let's get rid of that so we can have more real estate to work inside of. So like fair value gaps that I would like to see respected. Here's a bearish one over here. I'm just going to note it because if I'm looking for longs, I'd like to see them maybe tap into it and then run back up. But I can already tell you right now from the behavior that I'm seeing right here, I'm not super like impressed with the price action just yet. So this is 930. And so London lows all the way down here. Let's see. Yep. All the way down here, we have London lows inside of this bearish fair value gap. And we also have Asia lows and a bit of a opening range gap here upwards. So let's see. Just to be clear, right? Looking at similar things over here, but the general gist of what I'd like to see is, so we've pushed up. If we're going to continue, let's say some sort of continuation, my preference at some point in open would be for them to take out this London low right here and then roll up and maybe take that like shallowly one more time, sweep, shift, and then roll up to wherever the heck we have. So I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna pull this window over, often to maybe look at where we could potentially go. We are unfortunately inside of this bigger 1 hour bearish fair value gap. So this, in order to escape this, we'd have to like rocket past it. So we'll see. That's the general gist of what I'd be looking for. I don't know if we get that. We'll be fast forwarding a bunch. The other thing though, and let me also note that on this screen as well, is this extreme right here. We have what is essentially equal highs here as well that we could utilize for targets. So let's just go 1 hour extreme here. And I'm only noting that because it's good places to get out. Just areas where I can like look for TP. We have buy side liquidity here, so equal highs in this particular space. So if we don't get what I'm looking for, or if they take what I'm looking for before giving me a chance to get into a trade, then, we'll move on to a new day because I don't want to be trading that. Because the thing is, once they take the liquidity already, everything else after that, there might be some trades to get, but everything after that is going to become a lot more murky or choppy. At least that's what I've like noticed. So we opened, that's the high, that's the low from here. So let's see what we get. So for whenever I'm like looking for an entry, I'm going to use the positioning tool in Thinkorswim to figure out how many micros. And then I'm going to get in. But for now, we're just going to watch this. Actually, we're going to speed that up so that we don't have to wait so long. We'll just let it move through 3 times the speed. Because I'm dedicating 2 hours to this backtesting session. Actually, it might be faster if I just did this all in Thinkorswim in TradingView, but I want to get some practice in putting the orders in here. So remember, I'd also noted this daily extreme along with the volume imbalance here. So it's not weird if they want to like roll back down. It might even be interesting to see if there's a potential short to London lows down here, you know? So let's see. Right now we're getting, so in this scenario, we've taken an extreme. We're at a high time frame area. We've already shifted once here. So I'm honestly okay with a potential short. I'm going to drop to the 1 minute and see what that's looking like. So again, we sweeped, we're in here. I actually prefer the 2 minutes if I'm being honest. Why is that not on here as a time frame? Okay. So first shift on the 2 minutes, fair value gap. The second shift would be here. I don't know. That's luckily not super close to London lows all the way down here. So if we get a second shift this way, even though I was originally bullish, um, one of my extremes has already been taken and they're looking pretty bearish. And it's 9:51. I don't even know if there's news. Let's go check. All right, let's go back into January. This is January 5th. So January 5th, there was news at 10 a.m. Okay, so here's what would happen. I would normally wait until 10 a.m. So let's push this forward to 10 a.m. so we can see what happens. We don't need to suffer through all of that waiting. Ooh, okay, so by 10 a.m. we were in a range. Gotta love that. Got to love that. So now it's 10 a.m. We're hanging about, let's just press play there. All right, and then we've just sort of hung about in here. Still think the short might be a good idea, but it doesn't necessarily meet the criteria. We have one shift here. I need a second shift under here, and then I would take the short to the London lows here, if that's a thing. Otherwise, if we stay in this range, then it's just, we'll close and just go to the next day because there's nothing to do. That's the 2 minutes. If the 2 minute already looks at 10 o'clock, looks like a sideways shuffle, a sideways Cupid shuffle. Uh, so I'm also just moving I'm also just moving the actually no, I'm not even doing that because I have my Thinkorswim on this side. I haven't even moved it yet. I'm just like, nah, we'll just focus here. But a shift below here with some sort of fair value gap in here would be nice. The potential to, if I'm being honest, let's say because we're at a higher time frame space, we've took the extreme, we're at this volume imbalance, it's perfectly acceptable for them to try and run for London. Now, why wouldn't I want to attempt to run for London as well if they give me an opportunity? Right now, these candles took those out, nothing else next to them has taken them out. So until that happens, I have nothing to do. I have to wait for clarity. There's no clarity, there's no point. Because, like, if I'm just watching the candles and, like, that, look at that candle. That was looking like it wanted to drop, right? And now it's doing something else. Now we're on the 2 minute watching this, you know? Let me fast forward some more. So while we wait for this, let's look at the higher time frame. Let's look at the 4 hour. What is the 4 hour? Is the 4 hour telling us? The 4 is saying bullish. So I should be looking for longs, right? We've just been pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. But we've also hit a bullish fair value gap right here, a bearish fair value gap, sorry, right here. And we're inside of a bearish fair value gap. Did I say bullish order block? Why are words hard? Seriously. You know what it is? So I've had this like cough style thing like since after Thanksgiving, since I got sick, and then this stupid cough won't go away. Okay, so this is why I don't rush into setups, right? I had a criteria for an entry. We had a shift here, and we're waiting for the shift under the 2 minutes, and we didn't get that. We're just starting to roll up. Now, what does that look like on the 5 minute? Because, ugh, I don't I don't like it. We didn't have a sweep of anything. We just sort of took the extreme out, and we've been just hanging out in this volume imbalance this whole time, and then we just sort of dropped a little bit, tapped into this order block right here, and then just sort of ran back up again. Like, we're not in a very good place. And if I'm being honest, I'd just be sitting here waiting, just waiting, because we had this first shift on the 5 minute. If this is going to be like a shift in this direction, like a continuation, then now I would need to see a shift above here. But I don't know if that's enough, on micros for like a pullback to here to, well, a pullback to here wouldn't be bad. But we could also just sit here. I don't know. The 4 hour looks very, very bullish. The 1 hour look is looking pretty bullish. So, I mean, it's possible that we might be able to get a long out of this. But it feels very, that's what I'm looking for. It feels very, I don't want to go anywhere E. I don't know if that's like a real word or anything, but yeah. So for me, I need a sweep above here and then a return this way with some sort of fair value gap. Um, let's look at the 2 minute. I thought I had my 2 minutes saved. Let's save that one because I like the 2 minutes. The 2 minutes is it cleans up the 1 minute. But if the 2 minute doesn't clean up the 1 minute, it looks like really wicky like this. On the 2 minute, like we just had a shift because this is the candle that took out these guys, right? So that's now like the bullish order block. I don't care about the rest of this. Once we shift above here, again, still very messy. So for my setup, it doesn't really like have anything for me. So I would be looking for some sort of long, but my general criteria for taking longs is some sort of liquidity sweep of some kind. And we don't really have that. We have London down here at 24,455. That's still open to be taken. Of course, London highs has been gone, been dead and gone already. So whatever. But I think this is a really great way to like backtest because you can watch the candles form. You can make your decisions based off of that instead of like the static nature of TradingView. Don't get me wrong, TradingView is great. It does the job, but for me, I need to be able to make the decisions I would have to make, while I'm trading live, and this gives me the opportunity to do that. So thanks, Thinkorswim. The only irritating thing is like for the micros, you can only use like the contract. Okay, so this is like showing that it wants to go up. Let's see if it closes. If we get some sort of like fair value gap up here, because we had like a shift this way, we came down. We didn't really sweep anything, but we did tap into the order block. So I got to get a little bit more comfortable with taking those types of sweep trades. Part of my issue here is I was almost convinced to take a short if it dropped below here. But again, the criteria for that is absolutely here. We've hit a high time frame PD array. We've swept it. We shifted on the 5 minutes, and then we're just waiting for a nice clean shift below here on the 2 minute, and that'd be fine. Right now, we're looking really bullish still. If messy, this is the 2 minute. Let's see if the 1 minute would have given us like a fair value gap or something to work with. So on the 1 minute, the 1 minute shift is a lot less clean. Like this candle like took out everybody. So the shift above that would have occurred here. Then we would have had to wait for this shift right here, which occurred right here. And there's a fair value gap right here. So if I was using the 1 minute of choppiness, then like an entry would have to be something like right there at the top of that candle inside of the fair value gap with a stop below here. Even below here, honestly. So I'm going to check to see how many contracts that would require real quick. So it's what, 1020? Let me just push my thinkorswim up to 1020. What up, Bobby? Good morning and happy Sunday. I'm back to finally being able to backtest in thinkorswim. But the 2-minute, which I want to be trading on because it's cleaner, didn't give me a fair value gap. It just gave me this big juicy wick, and it's still very messy. So plenty of space. I would like to see something clean. Got nothing clean. I won't take it. Again, the long would be more of a continuation long. And on the 1-minute, the entry would have been here, which they just sort of came back down to right there. So maybe I'm being too picky. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the chat, because this candle's looking like it might want to, move up. I don't know. But I don't like it when we have so many gross wicks around things. It just doesn't make me happy. But the 1-minute entry and the shift potentially might actually work. So let's recap. I don't like the long right now because I don't like the fact that we haven't shifted anything significant. That's my general issue. The short feels better because we have shifted into, we are at the daily order block, a 1-hour order block, fair value gap, all that juiciness. We did drop down nicely. The only problem is the 4-hour and the 1-hour are very, very, very bullish. So longs is where it should be. That's a 5-minute for you. So yeah, like it's not clean for my normal setup, but it looks like it's going to continue up. But on days when it's this wicky and messy, I don't like it. I don't know. Like, I'm looking for clean entries because when I get the clean entries, I get, nice movement. So on the 5-minute here, I was at 1028 on January 5th. So it looks like the 1-minute entry I was looking at for the long would have potentially worked out. But because the shift on the 1-minute is here, then we have this down close candle that took out everything next to it, including that shift here, nice clean one. But all of this, I don't like it. It's not clean, it's not clear, it's not, you want to go long because the higher time frame says you should be going long. The only clear setup at this point, hold on. Let me see how many contracts I would have to take for this. If I were to take this, I won't though, because it's too much. It's too much sitting around waiting. What do you think, Bob, off of that 5-minute? So if I were silly and I took the long here with a short right here, that would be a 2 micro trade looking to go up. So let's say this is like the only clear area and I put a stop under here. I don't like it, but it's a 2 micro trade and I need to get comfortable with taking those entries. So that's a 2 micro trade, and I would have to, let me adjust that TP. I don't even know if that's even worth it. Like going to that 1-hour extreme right there. I don't even know if we even make it up there, but let's see. So I'm thinking this low is somewhat protected because it took the low out next to it. So I'm going to move my stop to right under there, because it doesn't, just because it's a 2 micro trade doesn't mean I have to like lose full 0.5%. I gotta work with structure. So I don't know. Now, if it comes and takes this extreme out, then I will just take it off. The other thing I could do too is I could take a look at like say the 5 minute, like the 1 minute order block here. And sorry, I've been saying this whole time. My bad. The 1 minute order block is these down close candles because this one took everything to the left. So that shift right there, nicely. And then we need like, okay, so oh, look at that. There's that sound. All right, so we would have just gotten tagged in. So let's see what we're looking like. So we can just see the dollar values. Now I would be interested in adjusting my stop up. Again, this is not what's the word I'm looking for? Like super opportune trade. Like it's messy. It's not something I'm super excited about taking. I do like that we ran up. The potential is they could come back down to this 5 minute order block and run up. I would want to say they shouldn't because there's nothing in here like there's no like fair value gap or anything. It's just the order block. And if I'm like a bet woman, the 2 minute stop is probably not the best. Down here is probably better, but I'm gonna leave it where it is just to see how it plays out. Could quite easily just knock me out. But like I said, this particular version of the trade I probably wouldn't normally take because I just don't like all the wicking. I don't like the wicking, but we're gonna see. I don't know how this plays out, honestly. So we'll see. I could quite easily get stopped. Uh, so I'm supposed to put the stops where it's supposed to go. So let me just do that. Let me just make sure that is supposed to be 2 micros. Um, yep, 2 micros. So put the stop under the order block. And let's see if we get any follow through. I don't even know how much that is going to be as we attempt this. I don't like that we're not having any good follow through. That's why I don't like these wiki days. Like the follow through is not there. When it's like super clean and clear, that's the type of day I like. Look at that 5 minute candle. Gross. The only thing standing between me and annihilation is this order block and this bearish order block here. So there's a fair value gap right here that they've already blown through. So I don't know. So this one isn't, I would call this trade a B trade. So in true reality, I wouldn't actually take this, but I am curious to see how it plays out. And it's also really good for me to get comfortable with putting the orders in, seeing myself in drawdown and just dealing with it. You know what I mean? Just dealing with it. So it's 1044. So if maybe the 1050 macro will save me. Maybe the 1050 macro will save me. So this bigger 5 minute order block is in play right now. They've tapped into it. I don't know. Let's see. It's not the behavior I want to see. Like I'd like to see the next couple of candles push up very aggressively green. But the problem with that is on days like this with all this wicking, it's hard to sort of expect that type of movement, I think. You know? And again, this is not like A plus because I prefer if we'd swept some liquidity ahead of time, London. I would prefer that exponentially. Um, and then get a nice clean sweep. So, whatever. Because, this retracement into this order block, nice move back up, but why did we hang about? We're hanging about this volume imbalance, which, um, could pull price right back into it, and we could just still just hang about in here and do nothing. So, I don't know. And this is good for me because, I'm watching how two micros look when I'm in drawdown, and it doesn't give me the ulcers that like trading the minis does, you know, because my stop is a lot bigger. I can see, give myself some room to breathe. All right, can we move this along a little bit? Because I like that. I don't like that. It's a 5-minute candle. If this closes below here, then I would consider this trade to be invalidated. Like I said, I wanted the next two candles to be nice, positive green candles. And then when we bust above here, I'll go ahead and like move my stop. But I need this guy to, was it 1052? Need this guy to be green. If it's not, well, just a lot of choppity chop chop, and we'll move on to the next day. But this is what it looks like if I were to try and force this trade. And I would be sitting in drawdown quite a bit. But as I did the hindsight, like I realized that that happens a lot, especially, in these markets. Sometimes you might sit and drawdown a whole bunch. You just don't know. So we'll see if this, come on, get going there, buddy. Get your move on. Hey, Bob, you got your coffee? Guess what tea I'm drinking today? This is sour sop ginger tea. Isn't that crazy? Sour sop ginger tea. Mm. See what I'm saying about like taking trades on days when it's like super choppy? Nasty, rude. Are you kidding me? This is actually, you've never even had soursop. This is quite tasty. This is very tasty. Actually, if I'm being honest with you, I'm going to be honest with you. I honestly thought it was going to be nasty, hot. Because the soursop fruit itself is just so delicious. It's got little seeds, it's sweet, it's lovely meat. So I never even thought to drink it as a tea. But wow, you got some Dunkin' Donuts coffee, all right? Did you get a donut with that, Bobby? Did you get that don the don? Come on, push. Ugh, that's the problem with these days, man. Trading these days is just mean. We just don't get the follow through. Okay, no joke. I'm kind of glad you didn't get any donuts from Dunkin' Donuts because Krispy Kreme is way better donut wise. It's fresher. K-pods for the house. Oh, I see. Got you. Good for you. I get the crystals. So Nirvana makes like this honey ginger tea that I really like, and I was looking at their site and they had all these different flavors, and I was like, holy crap! Like this would be amazing if I tried like the turmeric, which is great, for your um, is great for your joints and things, and so I got the soursop ginger, the honey ginger, and the turmeric ginger. And I ended up really liking the turmeric. It's crazy. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like this type of behavior is just crap. Crapola. It's 11 o'clock. Okay, and we've gone nowhere, done nothing, and we're just still sitting around. This makes me feel like they might come back and kick me in the tushy. So this is taking too long. Let's push time forward. Let's say to 11:05. How about that? Let's see if they move along. Because we want to do this a few more times before 11 because I want to go do some stuff. So we're going to cheat a little bit and let's see what we do. Seriously? So at this point, we've gone nowhere, done nothing, finding a little bit of profit, $1. Let's push forward another 5 minutes because let's make it 11:10, yeah? Because it's struggling. It's struggling to go up. All right. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, given all of that BS just there. Let's take a look. So we finally got some movement upward. We're up $86 on two micros. Woo! I'm so excited. Where the hell is my entry? Right here? $106. Oh my God. So let's I'm gonna put my stop right there. So I think the entry is on the 2 minute, right? Forgot. So you'd be sitting in this trade like quite a while. Okay, so my entry was actually up here. So we're just reducing our stop loss a bit. So we're all the way down here. We're just gonna reduce. We're still in the negative if we lose. They've taken this high out. Now I want to see what they do inside of this little fair value gap here on the 2 minute. Can we get some movement upward, please? What's the big buttons? Oh, okay. So they just run up. Okay, so if I'm being really obvious if I'm being honest with you, my stop needs to be right under there because that's the low. Eh, dumb. Sorry, under here. So they can quite easily come back and smack me in the face. Let's go back to the 5 minute and see what that looks like. Yeah, so 5 minute order block. Got to make sure my stop is under that. Voila. So we've reduced our loss a little bit. Let's see if we can get some follow through. So right around here, we're in the green. So if we can like push up here, I can put that there and then, I'll cover my fees. Go, go, go. All right, let's push this forward another couple of minutes. Okay, question. Before I do that, do you guys care if I push it forward or do you want to see it actually like form? Tell me now. It's not really a great day, but 64 bucks on two micros. Woohoo! Come on. Nah, just push. Good. Yeah, because I want to waste time. Push it real good. Wolfie, Wolfie, Wolfie. All right, let's go to 11:25. Let's see what we're looking at. 11:25. Move the stop up to reduce our losses a bit. What are we looking at? Has it adjusted yet? All right, so at this point, we are not 11:25. We still in the money. I'm not willing to move the stop yet until they push up past. Let's go to 11:30. So this behavior, I don't like that. Like they're just sitting around. It makes me want to just lock it in and just be like, whatever. Cause that's what I'm saying. Like this kind of like price action this day is like so shitty. So shitty. So we're right around here. So I put it right here. We can push up because we're just not moving. Like, can we just go? So I'm not like aiming for the moon or anything, So if we take this a little higher, I'm gonna move it right there. Did we? Close enough. All right, so we're just like risk free now on this very disgusting trade. Disgusting because I don't like the wicking, but I have to also get comfortable taking these types of trades too. And $100 on two micros is not terrible. I mean, what do you guys think? Is $100 on two micros enough to, like, should we be locking that in? This is the 5 minute chart though. So I feel like I should watch the price action on the 5 minute after I've entered just to like track what I'm going to do. Cause we're just not moving fast. Let's get to 11:40. We probably get stopped out with this, the way this thing is moving, but we'd be stopped out for fees. Yeah. Look at that. No follow through. That's why I don't like this. No follow through. It's just wicking, just nasty grossness. No follow through. And I'm moving it. Didn't take the high up, but I'm moving my stop there because I just don't know that they're going to follow through and I don't trust it. So I'm not going to stress about it if I get stopped out. And we move on to a different day. If it's like a break even, I just pay for my fees day, which is what looking like right now. Or should I not be thinking like that? Okay, so $2. I wouldn't even pay for fees. Look at that, $2. All right, moving on because that was just gross. Let's go to January 6th. We're going to 9:45. And let's quickly check the calendar. No news on January 6th. Oh, look at that. Okay, so this is 9:45 January. Okay. So look at that. We still even haven't even. Yeah, I'm just happy I got out of here because I would have just gotten. That's why I don't like these choppy days. You just don't get anywhere. It's bullshit. Can you use tick chart on TOS? I don't think so. Let me check the let's take a look at the settings on this. So there's an area for me to check the, oh, can you see that? Let me see. Does it show up? Oh, good, you can see it. All right. Appearance, candles. So we have the bar, we have a candle, there's a trending candle, whatever the hell that is. Heikinashi, of course, line area, and equivolume. I don't know that I've ever seen. And then there's, for the chart mode, is monkey bars extended, and seasonality. I don't know what that is. So I'm going to say that's a no. I'm going to say that's a no. All right. So the next day, after being annoying and just hanging about, this is where we got out. We got wicked out. Where is it? Yeah, right around, right in here. This day though, 9:45, we just pushing up. So I'm a little salty because they're getting real close to where I want to get a trade in. I don't like this. What I do like, however, is this candle tapping into this fair value gap a little bit on the 2-minute. So my hope is that they want to run up to the equal highs up here. Question is, I don't know if we'll get any sort of entry. I don't know if like a 2 micro would be a decent buffer for that, but I don't like extremes, but let's see. Now, I should have said it at the top, but it's so tiny. I should have said, yeah, the whole body should have been the entry right there. So I would have been tagged in there. So I'm finding that, when it's like a big push like that, it's probably a good idea to try and see if you can catch a little something there. It's at 9:54. So I should have, bad habit there that I have. I put it at the tiny little body. When I see these candles, it should be at the top of the wick. But let's say I did that and fixing it, I don't know if they come back and smack me to take me out, because I'm going to behave the way I would have behaved in this. So I like that. Let's see. So 9:30 just kind of popped up. We got a bit of retracement and then we just ran up very aggressively. So trying along from here is totally in my wheelhouse. They're at a 1-hour order block here. And I shot myself in the foot just now when I put the entry here instead of here where it needed to be. Because whenever it's like a doji candle, 5,000 tick chart with fair value gaps works amazing. Really? I never touched that. All right, guys, I am going to cheat just a little bit just because I want to see this entries as 552. So I'm gonna push this back to 950 because that was just me like not thinking properly. So let's see if I was thinking properly and I put it in the right place, if this would work out with the stop that we have. We're cheating. I've never used a tick chart. So you're gonna have to like tell me about that, how that works. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. All right, so the previous day we couldn't even get to this extreme. This is why I don't like choppy days. This is very clear. This is very, I want to go up. They're like, I don't even care about London lows down here. I'm just going to run off and do what I want. So whenever I see those types of aggressive moves with micros, I can just, take a 1 micro, 2 micro trade. The stop won't kill me. And then I can just go on about my business. So I have to remember, whenever I see the doji, set up at the doji, not the body. Because the order block is the whole candle. When the candle's bigger, you've got a bigger body, then you need to, all the reason why that you need to use the wick. The other reason why I'm doing this is to get comfortable again with the sound of getting tagged in to the trade, because no joke. Oh, let me move that down. That's where the TP is. That the equal high is right up there. So I have like a set, a random set of TP or whatever, but I'm mainly going to be just adjusting it to wherever the buy side liquidity is on the higher time frame, or the fair value gap that needs to be filled, that kind of thing. So the only thing that would make me super nervous is the fact that they hit the extreme. It's just the top of the order block, but at the same time, that's just a target I was looking for in the previous day. And then chart counts numbers of contracts traded independent of time. Traded, it prints a candle. Oh, okay. I've never actually, let's push this forward to 10. I've never actually thought about tick charts. I think for Thinkorswim, I would have to pay more to see them. All right, we're pushing the chart forward. Okay, so we would be in a pretty good place here. That'll adjust in a second with the time. So two micros, 168. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not taking a stop on this one. Entry was here. I would just plop it right under that candle right there, just to lock in fees or whatever. And let's see if we can get to those things. The main reasons for this trade is we didn't get the sweep I would have liked, but we did get like a retracement and into this higher time frame volume imbalance, and then we ran away very aggressively. The other thing I really like is this candle. Like, it tapped into this fair value gap. Juicy. It tapped it and then it ran. Beautiful, beautiful. So when I was doing all of the hindsight testing, I saw that happen so much that I was like, that is definitely like a setup that I'd be willing to take moving forward. 200 on 2 micros. So the thing I don't like about Thinkorswim is that I can't switch this PNL to like ticks, because I'd much prefer ticks versus the dollar value, because that's going to mess with my thought process. I'm going to switch to the 5 minutes so I can watch it from here and see how we're progressing. Also, I want to see if there's any 5-minute fair value gaps that we're sitting inside of. Oh no, my stop is like right inside of this 5-minute FVG. That is not great. I'm hoping that they want to just keep this running, but we all know that NQ likes to pull back and, kick you in the face. So what I'm going to do is, if we get a nice bullish push up here, I'll move my stop to just under here, since we've just got a wick. I don't know how much time's left on this 5-minute candle though. 3 minutes. Let's push forward to 10:05. Come on, let's keep going. You can do it. I don't know how this day played out. Lovely. Yes. Make an order block. Push past it. I move my stop right there. Go, go, go. Now this makes me, because there's a fair value gap here, it makes me want to move it here, but I'm not going to because I was making those adjustments due to the 5 minute, the 2 minutes, so I could like lock in stuff. So let's push this forward to 10:10. Let's see if they want to drop. Looks like they want to drop, and maybe I get knocked out. But I'm hoping, since with such a bullish push, maybe we can just keep going. Looks like I'm about to get stopped. So this is not a great place for my stop. It's a terrible place, actually. It's a very terrible place. You know, the only thing I'm hoping for is that this candle wants to push up. Like maybe they don't want to tap into it. But so the trader in me wants to move my stop to here, because at least it's covered by the fair value gap. There's a small one in here, but they could also tap down here, and I made that decision on the 2 minutes. So let me look at the 2-minute structure and see if I want to make that adjustment. So my entry was right here. We've moved up about $200, and then I wanted to lock in to cover fees. I mean, the stop loss would be tiny, but you know, a loss is a loss, right? I would need this to push up. So let's leave it below that 5-minute fair value gap right here. I don't want to see them tap back into this one. Tapping into this one is okay. It's a big long wick though. There's nothing for you down here, but it looks like they wanna drop. Let's go to so 11:15, 10:15 might see us getting tagged out of this one. Okay, that looks a lot better. So if we can take this high out, my stop can be here comfortably. And let's see if they want to run up. So that's why I'm like, I gotta forget about the loss value. I have to just think about the structure. On the 5-minute, my stop was in a terrible place and I had to move it and put it back in a place that made sense. All right, let's push forward another 5 minutes. We don't know how, I have no idea how this day went because I did not trade it. I wasn't trading in January at all. So this is me, you know, going back. Okay, so it looks like we're stalling. I will note that we're stalling inside of this 2-minute fair value gap right here. And I really, 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 really want to move my stop to cover, but I'm trying to avoid that feeling. So let's go to 10:25. What happened? Whoops. Okay, so let's go to 10:25 here. I don't like the fact that we're pausing here. Okay, finally we have some movement. So now I can safely move my stop to this low, just above my entry. I don't know what that is in dollar value. It does not matter because I'm trying to only trade structure. So let's see if we get some follow through. This is the 2 minutes, so let's push this to 10:30 and see how this works out for us. But it's a good. It's one of the setups that I'm willing to take no matter what. All right, so we're like tapping into this little order block right here. Let's see if we can push up. Then I can move my stop to here. So let's see. So 10:30. $200 on 2 micros is pretty great though, you know? I would be more than willing to lock it in for like 300, you know? What if it pushes up? All right, let's move to 1035. Let's go. See if we have some follow through. Oof, that's not pretty. We've pulled back down into this order block and the fair value gap. We might get stopped out or this. The only thing between my stop and me is this order block right here and this bearish fair value gap. And this little guy at here. So let's push it forward some more. It's not looking great. Not looking great at all. So look at 1040. Oof. It's looking rough. It's looking real rough. Let's look at the 5-minute on this. Yeah, that 5 minutes not looking real juicy. Maybe now they want to like tap into this, but I'm not willing to give up. We should have had some follow through here. So let's push it to 10:45. Let's see if we got our horses handed to us. Looks like we're about to. Yes, yes, yes. So again, they're coming into that. Yep. So we would have gotten stopped out here. Yeah, for minus $5. What pain. So you guys think like I should have taken it at 200, but I'm just trading structure and that's it. So I'm just curious, like where did it go? Let's go to 1050. Like, did I miss like a higher time frame area to target? So my original stopwatch was here, and then I moved it on the 2-minute once we pushed up because structure, why the hell not? I'm just curious, like, did we run up after that? Or did we decide to continue dropping after that? Well, it dropped. Okay, that's fine. So it's still a good trade on the 2-minute. I'm gonna push it to like noon. I want to see if they just dropped really much lower and then just decided to push back up real quick, and then we can switch to the next day. Yup. So that's the only thing I gotta remember. Like whenever I take that continuation trade up, I should be willing to recognize that it might pull back and then decide they want to push up. Because order block down here, right at 11, they just wanted to pull back and then they ran back up. And I bet you anything. Let's go to 1355. Did they go up to my TP after that? Look at that. Yep. Yep. So like trying to get something off of this leg, maybe I should be like locking in like more profits. What do you guys think? Because looks like in the PM here, after we dropped into that, that would have been the 5-minute shift there. I'd have been interested in taking the long after they disrespected this fair value gap here. So I would have caught something right around here. But looks like, let's go to 456. Yep, look at that. They just didn't want to do it after this full run. They wanted to come back down and then smack me in the face. All right, well, that's all right. Let's go to the next day. Because I'm trying to trade the AM mainly, so I'm not really looking at the PM too much. Let's go to 9:45. Let's go. And then let's take a look at, all right, so let's take a look at the daily. Oops. Take a look at the daily on this one. See where we're headed. All right, so we can get rid of that and that. Buy sell liquidity is here, but we do have some juiciness up here that I'll mark out as potential. I don't need them to take the whole thing, but I do want to see them roll up. I was hoping we get a little bit more push on that previous day. So All right, so let's drop to, let's go on to the 5 minutes. So we have, okay, so we have all of this to reach up into. And this time we have a tiny fair value gap in here on the 5 minutes. So I don't know that they need to come back down. Similar situation as the day before. Did they take out the London lows pre-market? No. Okay. They did take out the highs just now. So what would I like to see? I would like to see a bit of a pullback. If they just run up and take the high out, then I'm done because there's nothing, there's nothing for me to aim for at that point. Just be unnecessary. Unfortunate, but unnecessary. All right, let's see if there was something juicy like the 2 minute entry we saw the day before. And let's see if there's any news. This is what day is this? The 7th. So there's news at 10 a.m. So I'm going to push this to 10 a.m. ADP non-farm change, ISM PMI at 10 o'clock. So let's push to 10 because I'm not doing anything before 10 o'clock. And then let's see if they've already taken everything from us. Oh. All right, so 10 o'clock rolled in, and what do we have? We got this little order block, a little shifty here. I don't like this. This setup doesn't look very juicy. What's the 5 minute look like? We might like run into a situation like the day before. This is looking very turnaroundy, I would love for them to roll back down. And maybe like we can get, I don't know, some kind of shift, sweep some stuff. Tiny, tiny fair value gap in here. Let's look at the 15. Okay. So we've got a 15-minute order block here. And we've just sort of tapped into it a little bit. All right. Yep. So I would love to see a pullback and then a nice like bullish move up if I could. So I'm going to dip down to the 2 minutes. And let's push this forward a couple of minutes. Let's see. So on the 2 minute, we're reaching into this guy. Big wick on this. So no fair value gaps for me to play with. Not even an inversion. So my next, and let's look at the 1 hour real quick. Maybe there's something there. So this is unlike the day before where we had like nice juicy movement. Even if we did not. Okay, so here's a nice 1 hour fair value gap that was used as resistance for shorts prior. So I'm curious to see how they behave inside of it. Can we please, what? Okay, so I want to see if they want to roll back into this fair value gap that we've disrespected, or if it just ignores it and maybe gives me a secondary shift upwards. All right. So we can just see how we've been kind of rejecting off of it, reject, and now we've just pulled past it with some alacrity. So 9:30 was just like tap and go. And I'm curious, let's go back to the 2 minutes here. I don't even know how, even if they take some of this, equilibrium out, just let's push this forward. 10:05. No! Damn it. Now we know how this works out. I said 10:05. Sorry, guys. All right, so we know we wanted a retracement. I wouldn't mind if we had a retracement, then I didn't take a very clear look at what just happened. I am not cheating, Wolfie. Like, I did not do that on purpose. It went to 10:53. That is not fair. You know what? If you think I'm cheating, we'll go to a different day because fire bun for cheating. Because I'm trying to do this naturally, and I did kind of see it. So yeah, let's dip to the eighth. Is that what you want? Dip to the eight, eight. You know what? Yeah, let's just go back to 10:53 since we saw that, and let's see how that worked out, and let's move on because we done cheated. We done cheated. Remember what I said? I would have wanted. Fine, Wolfie. Fine. I would have wanted a sweep below here and then a move up. Well, look at that. Sweep and then move up. But there's no entry in here. Granted, if I had tried for an entry, let's say let's say I'd done something like this, I would have to do my stop would have to be below that low, but I would have been swept out. So whatever. Moving on, since we cheated, not on purpose. All right, let's go to 940 on the 8th. Let's take a quick look. There's unemployment news at 8:30. That's it. All right, so let's look at the 4 hour on this before we start doing anything. All right, so we took out the buy side, tapped this juicy volume imbalance that I mentioned would be a good target as well. Darn it. And then, so that previous day, 1 p.m., we did that. So new targets would be these equal highs here on the 4 hour. Very juicy equal highs here. The 4 hour is not looking super bullish, but just in general it is. Hey, Minar, how's it going? Happy Sunday. We'll be forward testing like a boss in Thinkorswim. All right, so I would love for them. They're coming in to tap into this guy. I'm going to, and they've swept everybody out, which is lovely. I love when they sweep people out, tap into higher time frame PD arrays, and then maybe we can get along out of this, all of this mishima. So they've tapped the order block right here. I'm gonna get rid of this guy. This extreme is perfectly in line with what I would be interested in. Hope you had a good trading week, Ebinar. So I'm just gonna note that. And then let's also take a look at the 1 hour. Well, that 1 hour candle is not looking juicy at all. But again, I'm perfectly happy to have them sweep out this low right here, which I think is the London low or close to. Anything to do with Asia is dead and gone. So let's dip to the 5 minute and see what we get. Oof. That is ugly. Now, this is very aggressive. And so, what is that? 8:30 just sort of popped up and took out everybody to the left up to here. And I mean, overall, we're still bullish, but lots of chop and volatility. I stayed mostly on the sideline this past week. Yeah, that's fair. So did I. Although I did shoot myself in the foot with one trade that I put on and took off, and Bob can like attest to that scenario. But if I'm being honest, I was distracted. I had a call starting, so I didn't really want to be. I'm trying to also not like trade while distracted. So that's not great. Well, this looks like it just wants to dump. What is down here? Let's look at the 1 hour. You did too? Oh no. No, I want you guys to be winning while I'm figuring my shit out. Come on. Come on. All right, some equal lows down here if they want to run to it. Let's note that. Make that red. Just some equal lows down here that could be a nice target. Of course, we have plenty more. So that's a big aggressive 1 hour candle. And we did sweep up, take a lot of liquidity up here. Big shift again. So maybe I should be looking for continuation shorts. What do you guys think? I'm finding that when I see these big pushes down like that, I should be considering taking something at least to this extreme here. It'd be nice if we got a push back up. It's nine, so I would be hands off anyway because it's not quite 9:45, and then we have this big aggressive push down, and this is the 8th. So we had news at 8:30, which doesn't seem to have moved the market very much. Like it's up, just a tiny, and then we just dropped. This is a very aggressive, and we've like respected all of the bearish PD arrays all the way down to here. So, I wouldn't mind seeing if they want to tap into this and drop, and maybe, but it's against my bias. My bias is bullish still, although that 1 hour candle is gross. All right, so 9:45. Let's push this 4 or 5 minutes and see if they give us anything juicy. And I'm being very careful, Wolfie. See me changing the numbers? 9:50, go. All right, so we do have a nice pushback up into this. So a continuation trade, I think that would have been good for at the body though. That like if I was gonna do it, I'd want to take it here, but then have my stop up here. So I think that'd be like a 1 micro trade if I were to do that. If I were to sell 1 micro, yeah. So the 1 micro would get me close to where I'd want my so let's see. That's very bearish. So I'm gonna try and go with the session bias. Let's go to 9:55 and see if we would have gotten tagged in on that one. So that looks like we're not going to run back up to there. We didn't even make it here. So maybe I should take it here with the stop here. These continuation trades aren't like my best, but that's where I want the entry. Fair value gap, order block. Let's push this to 10 o'clock. Sell it. 0, 0. 0. Got to be careful when I'm changing the times on this. Yep. So when it was sitting right here, I was considering taking it here instead, and I did not. So what I should have done, I guess, was, hope they want to stay there and then just take the 1 micro down. Was this clear on the 2 minutes? Nope. So that one I would have missed because of where I wanted the entry. What could I have done better on that? So we've just order block. Guess we could try a 1 micro, but I don't know if it's even worth it here. I'd need to go a little higher because I would need the stop to be above here. And then I don't know if that's even worth it on 1 micro. But we did get the return back up. I should have just taken it here and put it up here and then been okay with that. This feels like I'm forcing it, but the an entry at the base of this disrespected fair value gap doesn't seem like a bad idea. It's not, because these guys, these two candles, these three candles would have tapped me in if I was quicker about it. But again, an entry at the wick with a stop up here could have been something. Damn it. Sometimes you just don't know, you know? Like you don't know if your setup's gonna let you do that, because a continuation trade for me, like same trade here, right? Body would have got tagged in there, and then we just keep going. This one, body, they ain't bother to touch it. You just don't know. Mm. So this is like 10 o'clock. So there's still plenty of time in the AM session to catch something. Maybe after they take that out, or maybe there's plenty down below here. So we could also we have 5-minute candle here, tiny fair value gap. So I could also take a 1 micro trade when it closes inside of the fair value gap. So let's see, because I think that would be 1 micro given how far up the stop is. So I'm pushing it to close to 10:05, so we get a new candle. Yeah, a new 5-minute candle. Wait, shouldn't this candle be closed already? Oh, there it goes. So small thing. So we're gonna sell 1 micro here. Hopefully I didn't miss it, because they can come up into the bodies of this, but I'm trying to catch inside of the fair value gap. It's tiny, but it's there. And then there we go. And then let's see if we get that. Now, this is about 0.5% of my account. So if they push up and knock me out from here, I'm just screwed. I'm hoping they want to stay inside of this. Like this. Yeah. Yeah. This is gonna be an instant slap in the face, isn't it? Like if we can, I probably, because of where the stop is, I should have taken it at the body so the stop could be above this candle here, but I did not do that like a dum-dum. But that is an aggressive push-up candle. So I fully expect to be stopped out on this one. And I should have thought a little bit more about it, because this closed candle had this giant wick on it. And that's not pretty. It would have been better if it had like a nicer body on the close, if I'm being honest with you. All right, so we're trying it with a 1 micro trade. The stop is not exactly where I want it to be. And let's good. Let's push this forward to 10:10 and see what we get. If we're kicked out immediately, if we just start going sideways after that big drop. And oof, yep. Immediate stop out. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Okay. Up and away, but look at that rejection off the wick, right? Even where I wanted the stop, I would still have gotten my R's handed to me. Now, right? No, that felt broke right through. Yeah, like no chill. That's my problem. Like I sometimes wonder if I can tell when it's just a giant, run for liquidity versus like a nice like move up. Because now we've got a pretty decent shift up on the 5-minute bullish at 10:10, which is not terrible. So now I could be looking for the longs I wanted in the first blasted place. And let's see, that 1 hour, how did it close? Okay. Yeah. Very bearish. Like this 1 hour has been very bearish. I don't know, maybe just wanted to roll back up a bit more to continue down to take some equal lows out. If we get a rejection off of this bearish fair value gap, like a continuation short down might not be out of the question. Because a sweep up to just wouldn't be weird at all. But so far, I don't like I'm trying to force myself to take the continuation trade because I don't really do that very much or at all. And when price is moving very cleanly in one direction, you should probably, try. Yeah. And this stop is huge. Like you saw what I was working with my 37 tick stop before. It was nothing. But, you know, let's see. So we dropped down. These aren't like super amazing equal lows. Nice shift on the 2 minute here. So waiting for some confirmation. If they leave this open, run up and leave a fair value gap, I will go for the long because that would work with my long narrative. Because remember I said I wanted them to come down here, sweep out everybody, and then run up. So let's go to 10:15. Let's see if we get that. Oh, let's speed it up too. Let's speed it up as well. So 10:15. So far, the first week of January, we would have had a $2 trade, which wouldn't cover fees, a a $5 loss the next day to wipe out, or $7 probably to wipe out my $2 trade, and then one break even, two break evens really, and then one semi full loss just now. So three trades, and you know NQs being NQ. But again, we're trying to get comfortable taking the trades that we see that fit the criteria. Now, I wish this thing had an option for me to draw stuff so I can show what I'm looking for. So we've dropped nicely. We've got a nice 2 minute shift here. I'd like a retracement and another shift up, and then we'll take a long up to take these highs out. Just go to extreme to extreme, extreme to extreme, extreme to extreme. We'll close the body above the 2 minute. Let's see what it looks like on the 5. Okay, so we have a big fair value gap on the 5 minute. This is an ugly 5 minute candle. If it closes more aggressive, that looks better. Looks like it might give us what we want. What we should have been patient for, but we're traders. We be doing stuff we're not supposed to all the time, right? Damn shame, really. All right, so nice shift here. We're still in the move up above. Now I would love a retracement now. Let's see if we get that in the next 5 minutes. 10:25. Go, go, go. Come on, push down. Okay, we're just doing our wiki. Because I'm not willing to take it here because unlike that other trade that I took with the doji, it had tapped into the fair value gap below. Like that's the key for me right there. I needed to tap the fair value gap below and then run away from it aggressively. That tells me that like they're done with it for the time being, and then we might just get some more aggressive push up. This is not telling me shit right now. Just a slow grind up. Let's put it to 10:30. And if I miss the trade, I miss the trade. That's all right. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. But I want that pullback. Like, make some lows, pull back, sweep it so I can, and then shift up so I can get my secondary entry. So we just, you know what? I don't know about you guys. Like, what do you guys think about the slow grind up? You know? because you're waiting for a proper pullback and then you just never get it, you know? But the market's just going to keep going slowly up that way, slowly, small, tiny, gross little candles. And they're just like laughing at you and you want to go long, but you don't know when they're going to pull back. They've not made any appropriate lows for you to even put your stop. So all of a sudden you can't get in. It's bullshit, right? Right? Or is that just me? I don't know. It might just be me. Come on. What was that? Okay. All right. Let's go to 1035. We're pushing it forward, y'all. Because this is some bullshit. This is that slow. Yes. Give me the pullback. Give me the pullback because we need that to create some structure so we can actually get in on some trades. Make me an order block. Thank you. Jeez. Jeez. Now here's the thing, right? Like if we don't get the shift back up, then the shorts are still in play and we can come down here. Those are the rules.
Chaser.
Thank you. Ugh.
It's orange.
Gotta take some cough medicine stuff here. My throat's still been an issue. That's terrible. Ah, and some applesauce. Thank you. That is aggressive. All right, let's see if they keep going. Let's go to 1040. Let's push forward like 2 minutes. But we get that pullback. Get that pullback. Let's go. Come on. Like I said, if we just drop from here and we don't push up, the shorts are still in play. And this is just a sweep for everybody who is trying to continue to go short to knock them out, just like they did with me. It's rat poison. Wolfie, why you gotta play games, man? Why you gotta mess with my emotions, Wolfie? Okay, so here, come on, take it out. Take it out. All right, so this looks like it'd be a one micro trade. The stop needs to be below here. It'd be really, really hard for me to get it down here with like, so we have this fair value gap that they just disrespected. And then this one that's forming at 1042. If we don't make one of these, then I would be interested in an entry potentially at this disrespected fair value gap for a continuation up. I'm trying my best not to be preemptive either, because this is the extreme I was interested in, but this high is perfectly good. If we don't leave a fair value gap here, we've tapped into that guy and we run up. I'll take it at the top and see what happens. It would have to be one micro because I don't think two can take that. And if I put a one micro trade on here and it covers this with more, then I might add one more. But I'm finding like with the stops that I need for an NQ, it's sad. One micro is all we can work with some days. I haven't even looked at my trading beauty to see on the regular day that the price would be moving nicely and I would know, but I'm over here just estimating as well. Now, if this creates a propulsion block and push up, I'll take it here with a stop below here. Well, no, take it here with a stop below the fair value gap. So then the propulsion block and the fair value gap will be and the first portion of the order block here will be my armor. Some strawberry applesauce. That's not rat poison, Wolfie. Rude. But let me tell you something. If we don't take this high out and we break below here, I'm going to take the short instead to here. Because that's the other thing I've noticed. Like, I need to be more fluid. So if we break below here, they want to continue down, and I will take it to the equal lows here. That is all. I'll put an entry right there, so stop above that guy. Because that's the protected high. They don't want to come down. It is a long, I agree. But there's two scenarios I can see here. Like the long I'm looking for is we dropped down, swept, shifted up, nice, retracement, yes. Push above this, push to give me the next shift. If they don't do that and they fail to do it, then the short is still in play. But I absolutely agree with you. It should be a long, but market does what the market does. Ugh, 1050. Let's go to 1055. Do we get some sort of I hate when it makes me have to wait. See? The short. The short's in play now. So let me see. What do we have? They swept that tiny fair value gap. Nothing. This guy. What does a 1 micro look like? Short from here look like. Oof. The only way I'll take this is if I get that and I can be above that. Actually, that's not even accurate. Back up. I need to be above this high right here. So it would have to be right there. Nope, not even that. Right there for me to take the 1 micro. All right, let's push it forward to 11. That's what I'm saying. Like they should have pushed up and they didn't. They dropped. Oof. But you're probably right about that long with that aggressive push. Let's see if it's gonna catch up and ding me in. All right, so that would have caught up and given me this, and I probably would get my ass handed to me. And Wolfie is like, right, and I should have stuck with my long bias. Also, I'm looking at the 2 freaking minutes. What is my problem? I should be looking at the 5 minute. All right, well. That the logic behind the short is there. The question is whether or not they just want to go sideways. I can absolutely positively be wrong here, and I should have just waited for them to give me the long. Let's go to 1105. CP's down here. So we just sitting here. All right, let's go to 1110. So I would hate for them to create a little mini range here. So if we can get below this low, then I can move my stop on my 1 micro. All right, looking good. Let's go to 1115. Come on. So this is the only concern, that it turns into like a sideways chop fest after the big drop. That's my only concern when we have those big drops. Come on, keep going. Let's go. Don't go sideways. Let's do 1120. Don't go choppy. All right, so the thing that's in the way right now is this bullish fair value gap. Stop's supposed to be here. I'll move it down since we got a juicy entry. Let's push forward. 25. Are we in a range now, or are we just gonna run up? Bearish fair value gap holding us down. We're below it again. I don't like the rangy BS we're working with. We get below here, then I can move my stop to where is it? Here, approximately. All right, let's push. 1130. Because now we're starting to look a little rangy. I don't like it. This is the 5 minutes, so this is a 1 micro trade, y'all. You can see where we are. So we're down 122 for this week. Now we're only down 41 bucks. Oof, we're up like $9.50 for the week so far. That's one micro right there. I mean, that's pretty great for one micro, right? Killing it. Let's keep pushing forward. Let's see if we get 1135. Do we get a, can we get out of this range or we're just going to hang about in the range? All right, looking good. Green is green, abso-freaking-lutely. All right, well, I would be adjusting my stop to here. That's the next high right there for my one micro trade. We would end the week green at 53 bucks. Let's keep pushing forward, see if we can get some follow through to those equal lows. Let's go to 1140. Now I want to see how they behave when they take this low out too. Come on, let's go. Oof. All right, so midpoint of that wick, that is definitely an area of interest. I want to see how they behave. So we're still in a decent space. Don't like that. I want to see the next 5-minute candle drop. Let's go to 1145. I don't even know if that's not looking great at all. Still up 60 bucks. So I've moved my stop down to here. Where was my entry? Honestly, I don't even remember. It was the 5-minute entry, right? So, because I moved my entry up to be down here, so I'd be like, so there we go. I would be stopped out. It's that sideways BS we're talking about. Like we needed a aggressive push down to catch it. But I mean, that's all right. So this week would have been pretty craptastic, but I would have ended it down $95.50. So ranging, that's the part that's kind of irritating, is like when it ranges. All right, now I'm just curious to see what it does. So we're just gonna go straight to noon. Actually, let's go to to 1 o'clock, and just to push forward and see. So we ranged a whole bunch, and then we're just in a range now. That's what I'm saying. Like the only annoying thing about this scenario is being in the potential for it to turn into a range. Because Wolfie, you're right, and I was right. You know, got a nice push down. A couple of, if I was taking more than one micro, then a couple, 2 to 3 would have been a nice move here. I wouldn't have given it back, but one micro. My rule now is like if I have to take one micro, I'm just gonna like aim for the moon and hope it gets there. And be happy with that. All right, let's move on. January 9th. That's 1 week. So the week's not over yet. Green is love, let me tell you something. And that reduced my loss for the day, the week so far. So with the range, I don't know where the hell it's going to go, so I don't care. All right, so we are on the 9th, and did we have news? So there was news at 8:30 and 10. So we'll push this. We'll do our preliminary review of where price wants to go. And then, oh my gosh, yeah, of price, where price wants to go. So this is still relevant. The equal lows down here is still relevant on the 4-hour. And then let's look at the 1-hour, and we're still bullish overall, even with the BS. That 1-hour candle's looking pretty good. Everything on this has been pushing upwards, and it's so then the lows are still intact and the highs are still intact for what I'd want. So up here would be the targets for longs. So let's drop down to the 5-minute. What do we look like? All right. And let's go to 10 o'clock because I wouldn't be taking anything before 10 o'clock because we got news going. So let's see what the news be doing and what's available. So what? All right. London Lows, where are you? Did we take you already? Yes, we did. Lovely. All right. So now we are in that choppy bullshit crap I hate. No one likes this. It just smacks us in the face every time. Why must it smack us in the face every time? This crappy. Hmm. So what we do? We opened, we swept London. I like that. But on the 5 minute, a full shift would have to happen all the way up here. Boom. We had to like run up, shift, retrace, shift again, and then I would be interested in entry to write it up to here and here. So right now, nothing to do. Let's push forward. 10:05. Still in the chop. Nothing to do. Absolutely nothing. They also, just to be clear, they also took out London highs too. And they took out this high as well. So anybody who was like short biased about any of this would have on the 5 minute high swept, shift right here, big juicy one. Then you need a shift below this again, below this again for a short. And it looks like it might give it to you for to go take these equal lows out. I don't know. Again, I really, really don't like when it's choppy like that because it makes for a very uncomfortable time. We've been sitting around this bearish fair value gap for quite a while. We have equal lows here as well that they can take out at 25,569. And just look at that. They're just running away. And I don't think, let's look at this on the 2 minute. No joke. I would love for them to just sweep all of this one more time. What time is it? 10:09. Sweep it and then give me some structure for some longs. Right now, this is all looking very bearish. But this is on the lower time frames. The higher time frame is where we gotta live. I can see some breakout traders going, yeah, we're out of here, and just, psh, and that might work. I don't know. I would like a shift above this right here. Let's get out of this little area of grossness. Then we can take a long up to these areas here. Let's push forward 5 minutes and see what happens because we out here just being patient. There you go. That's more like it. Beautiful. All right. So we took this out again. Lovely. Disrespect to that bearish fair value gap. Left a bullish one. Honestly, so let's push this forward another 5 minutes because I still need a second shift to get into anything. Like sweep up because they've taken this here on the 5 minute. Lovely. If they don't touch this and they just like tap here and go. Oh, this is the 2 minute. Sorry. What's it look like on the 5 minute? Yeah, nice shift on the 5 minute right here. Tiny fair value gap here. So, um, let's see. This would be like an entry model number one on the 2022 model. Sweep of liquidity, shift in structure, take it at the order block. In this case, it would have to be, I think, if I were to take this one, they would have to be a 1 micro trade. These stops are way too big. I probably couldn't take it because my stop would need to be down here. It couldn't just be just sitting anywhere. So let's see if the lower time frame gives us some better entries. All right, so we'd be looking for like a pullback of some kind. In here. So we've had a nice 5 minute shift. We have like balanced price range here, tapped up. No fair value gap in this scenario. That's the shift right there. I would like a little pullback and shift up again. That'd be good. Let's push this forward to, I don't know, 1028, whatever. Let's go. And it looks like we don't get any sort of entry opportunity in this long. Like only here. And maybe the 1 minute had a better scenario. Nope. Nope. Well, still no. Still no. How would you guys have gotten into this trade? Because we know we were looking for longs. We love the sweep. You know, like a pullback now would be incredible. I like the 2 minutes. So like come back. Come back. So now I got to think to myself, we have fair value gap here, one here, we tapped it here. If they tap it and run up, then I still have the opportunity to catch it and then stop below the fair value gap here. But I need this to turn into a doji. Give me a doji. Don't just run up now. No. uh, Cause still feeling it would still be in line with so I like that it tapped it, but we don't have an order block, so this might just run away with us, y'all. It's a Friday though, so what do I say on Fridays? I say if you've made money this week, there's no rush to get into another trade on Friday. There really isn't. Let's go to 10:35. Let's push this forward 2 minutes. Oops. Because I'd love a 10:45 entry if we could get it. Like, come on, let's push back down and, even if you make this and then run up, the fact that it tapped into this and then took off, I'm okay. But my stop needs to be down here, which makes me think it's going to be a 1 micro trade, which is incredible to me because going from like minis to micros and then taking one mini and that movement, like showing you what is going on. What? I'm not receiving. How is the video for you guys? It's saying it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. What is happening? I never know how to fix that. Mhm. How do I fix the stream health? Yeah, yeah, that's smart. Ooh, shekels. You've been listening to Rich Dad, the richest man in Babylon, Ebenar. Yeah, yeah, it's choppy. I don't know what's going on with. I don't know how to fix that. Like when it does that. Why is the stream so very light? Come on. It's dropping frames like nothing. Is my CPU like doing something? Let me check. No. The laptop itself is okay. But I see like it's like OBS is just messing up. Yes, come back down. Come down. Nice. This is 10:41. Well, I'm gonna close in 11 minutes anyway, so that sucks, but hmm. All right, good. Good. Retreat. Come on. Okay, now it's saying the stream is healthy. Is that better? I don't know what happened. Nope, now it's not healthy again. Every 2 minutes. Mm. See this 5 minute here. Yeah, what do I want? There's a 5 minute touch. There's that retracement. Honestly, I would like it to stay inside of this bearish. I wanted to use this as an inversion fair value gap right there and run up. Let's see. It's like I'd like to see it use that since it used it here and here to drop. Pop back up, I'll take the long there. And then I'd set my stop under here. Why are we still choppy? Technically, I should take it all the way up here once we've shifted one more time. Why is OBS being so weird? Kilobytes. How do I fix this? Dropped frames, 10%. Okay. So this is the behavior I wanted out of this. But no follow through. Fair value gap in here, I'd take that. Ah, I'm sorry guys. Looks like the connection stuff is really terrible. I don't know why. This is 1050. We push up here. Like an entry here with a stop down there. Maybe we can try for two micros here. So let's buy that. Let's see what to needed to close more aggressively. Yeah, 2 micros will do here. Let's see if we can get another pullback into that area. All right. And let's see if we get some follow through. So right now we've got this and this in between us, this fair value gap. So a couple of things. It's not a perfect setup. Trying to see if I can be a bit more aggressive with these types of things. Could come back and bite me in the butt, but you never know. And then we have this extreme up here to aim for. Uh, so, that's why I'm doing this because, like, this trade is not technically the trade I should be taking. I should be taking something up here to here. And I'm over here taking it because and on 2 micros, no less. And I'm about to get stopped out for my hubris thinking maybe they'll just run up. That's not the setup. And what did I do wrong on the 5 minutes? Okay. So, but the thought process behind taking it there is the fact that we've used this fair value gap for bearish price action. We blew past it like it, owed us money. And then we've come back down into it. So I'm expecting that it'll hold price up for as an inversion fair value gap so we can keep going that way. So let's see if I'm not cray-cray. Let's push this forward to 11, I guess. And then we can go do 5-minute increments because it's looking good on the 5-minute. I just don't know if we can just continue the push up. 2 micro trade. If we can take this high out, then I can move my stop to just above the entry area. So let's see. And we had these equal highs up here that we were hoping for. So let's move it to just below that and see if we can get some movement. And let's push forward. Let's see if we get... With the 2 micros, my stop gives me a lot more warm and fuzzies. All right. Well, look at that. Like if I were to like close it here, I'd end the week up 110, $100. All right. Let's keep pushing forward. Let's see if we can get past this high where I can move my stop into profit. Beautiful. Let's go. All right. So we took that high out. So I can move my stop a bit to these lows on the 5 minutes. And let's see if we can't get up here. Now we could actually be making some money this week. It's looking pretty good. Let's go to 11:15. Let's see. So we're over on 2 micros. We're over like $300 on that puppy. I don't know if we continue that. I feel like maybe we should like lock it in. If we push up here, I'm gonna move my stop to right here, and I don't care because that would be 250 on the week on 2 micros, recovering losses and all that jazz. Let's go to 11:20. Really? No movements. So I'm gonna wait because I want to see if there's a pullback and the continuation up. Maybe we get it. Let's go 10 minutes. Maybe we get it 11:30. Okay, so pull back into the order block, fair value gap, not strange at all. And so now, should I be thinking about closing this out? Nope, we're not doing that. We're just gonna keep going. 11:35. Let's go. See if we can get a push up. Slow creep down. All right. Now this is the part where you got to be comfortable just watching your not locked in gains disappear. So see if we can get a turnaround. A new low, take that high out, then I can, lock some stuff in. Let's go to 11:45. Now I took that high out, I should have been okay just taking the high, maybe. Let's push to 11:50. Do we get some movement that way? Well, what would you guys do in this scenario? You're in good profits. We have a target. We just gotta stick with it. All right, we just took that high out right there. So this is a good place for me to move my stop now. Locked in. It's a win-win. Let's go to 11:55. See if we can get some continuations up to our 2 micros, y'all. 2 micros is paying us nicely. Let's go. So that was a good entry area there. So we'd be up $395 for the week, clearing out our $500. What? Okay, let's go to noon and see if we can get some follow through. A little lunchtime push up, potentially $500. At this point, I'm just ready to like lock in, lock in. We're up 412. I don't know what it's a good time to close out. We've held the 2 micros. That's pretty good for 2 micros, right? It's a good trade. They don't have to go up here. Let me go to the 1 hour. And I mean, there's a fair value gap right here. So I might just say midpoint of that fair value gap. and see if we get there. We don't have to, we don't need the full pull. We don't. We don't. So let's see if we can get like, maybe we can get a little bit more, squeeze a little more juice out of this. All right, it's looking good. So now I'm gonna just lock that in because we're really close. That's a really good trade, really good entry setup. And we're so close to the TP, man. Like, come on. You know what? Let's keep pushing. We've locked in a nice amount. We'll still be green on the week. Actually, I'm gonna lock it in right under the fair value gap right there. I like that they tapped it. So right there is where I would lock it in. Right there. And then let's keep pushing. Let's see if we get some continuation up. First decent trade so far of the week. All right, so we need some continuation. I like that we tapped this and ran up. We need some follow through. And if we get stopped out here, that's all right. We've managed the trade pretty well. Now we're just trying to squeeze a little bit more out of this. All right, let's just watch this. Let's just watch it and see if we just tap or if we're just gonna. Cause we squeezing a lot out of these 2 micros, y'all. This is pretty great. You know, pretty amazing on 2 micros. So if we get stopped here, that's all right. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not giving back that much on some micros when I can just come back again. You know? So the only thing between me and my stop is this fair value gap and the fact that we wicked into here. The only thing. So it'd be nice if they just wanted to tap in here one more time and just continue going up. And we basically just be, moving our stops to lock it in. Just that's all. So that's why like finding like an inversion fair value gap is good sometimes. And that's why I was like more interested in taking the long at it with a decent, space between. And I tried the 2 micros and that looked good. So come on, you can do it. It's not looking great for a continuation up here. Like we might want to pull back further into this order block. That's fine, but I'm not giving back too much of this. So if they want to take it here, they can take it. But I'd be green on the week instead of down $95. Now, it's perfectly acceptable if they want to tap this fair value gap and the order block right here. No problem. No problem at all. But 2 micros would net me 325 on the week. And that's okay. Let's zoom in real tight. It came in real close, didn't it? Look at that. So we're just gonna watch it knock us out, which is we're very well aware of, but we're not giving back anything. And that'll be it. And there we go. 312.50 on the week, 1 day to bring us back in the green. All right. I dig it. That is beautiful. It's a good trade. It's a good setup. We were patient. We waited. Shift. Beautiful. We found something that made us want to take the entry a little bit earlier because the secondary entry would be now the return here for the long. If I were to do a full 5 minutes, first shift, second shift is here. So then I would be looking for an entry, somewhere in here. But the stop on this would be insane. So, but that was a good run. We got if I wasn't being greedy, we could have gotten more. But I mean, we're out here trying to squeeze as much out of the markets as we can. So, I was hoping we could get a nice additional push up from here, like, and then just keep locking it in. Because at that point, I don't really care if we get here. At this point, I just want to see how far we can get and how far I can move my stop to lock it in. And it could have been even, this is the 5 minute chart. So if I dropped to like the 2 minutes, we could have gotten more. But that was good. Hmm. That was good. So my hope was that they would stay inside of this puppy, and they chose to do so. So I'm very happy. And they did tap the order block here. So, and they probably will run up. And if I'd left my stop here, probably we would get the full pull. But I don't know about you, man. I am not interested in giving up stuff. Plus, we're into lunchtime. Let's go to 1 o'clock and just see if they did run up that far. Because it looks like they're about to do it now. Sideways. Whatever. All right, y'all. I will be happy with my shekels. I'll be very happy with my shekels. Today's is going to be 2 hours. But this was fun. And so for this week, the second week in January, the 5th through the 9th, we would have seen, do they show the trade activities in the tests? Okay, yeah. Let's see. So we would have been up 312. So we would have had basically mainly 2 and 1 micro trades all week. So we'd have had a trade on the 5th, one on the 6th, and the 8th. Oh, what? Oh, we took 2. Yeah, we took 2. And did they show the price movement? Let's see. Just seeing if they have the trade history. Oh, balance. Okay. So we could see what we did. Oops. Oops, hold on. I'm too big. My head is too big. I'm trying to find where we have. So let's look at our performance this week. So from the 5th through to now, is that going to adjust so we can see? I guess not. Okay, well, I guess we just get to see the P&L for overall. Okay. Well, that was not too bad. It wasn't like super great on the week. And it looks like we weren't making it all the way up there anyway. Maybe not yet. But regardless of that, it is President's Day tomorrow. And yeah, and I will be off work, not trading most likely. Just trying to relax and enjoy the day. But definitely we'll be doing more of this type of backtesting because it really, really helps me. Because sometimes you see me, when you're hindsight, everything is like easy to see and you can just, say you woulda, coulda, shoulda done that, right? But when I'm doing it this way, and I'll make my face big again. Whoops, move that. My bad. Make my face big again. But when you're doing it this way, though, I get to feel exactly what I would have done when I set the order. when I'm thinking about how many contracts that I need to put on, and the considerations that I think of when I'm like moving my stops and trying to lock in the profits and things like that. So this is like the way I'm going to do the back testing, and I'm going to be basically doing, well, I'm going to be constantly doing this, like, you know, even when I'm live trading, I'm going to constantly be back testing and just getting comfortable clicking and choosing where my interest should be and reevaluating, and based off of where my stop needs to be, adjusting how many micros and things like that. So this is super helpful. Thank you all for hanging out with me, and you know, where these short days always seem to run up, so I take trades in the mornings. I may take a trade when yeah, Monday. Yeah, I need to backtest that, like the holiday days. But honestly, if I'm off, I kind of just want to be off. I want to go touch grass, go get a nice drink, hang out with my peeps, just have a good old time. But hey, let me know if you do take a trade, Eminar, what kind of trade, and like what your criteria was and everything. I would love to see that. Wolfie, Bobby, thanks for hanging out as always as well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and ping me if you need something. For now, I'm about to go do some stuff, gonna have some brekkie and um live my life. Yeah, let me know if you do. I would love to see that. All right, party people. I'm ending up early today because I got some stuff to do, but I also did not. I was dreaming about doing this back testing this way. I was dreaming about it. So, have a good old time. Enjoy your Sunday. Shakira out.